James Bond Roulette Strategy. This strategy came from a fictional character, Mr. James Bond, from the 1953 novel Casino Royale. Based on the system Bond himself uses when playing roulette in the classic novel Casino Royale, which is claimed to be an unbeatable strategy. In this strategy, Mr. Bond include a backup strategy in an attempt to help you recover your losses. So stay tuned until the end of the video. Now, let's find out on how Mr. Bond uses this betting strategy and if we should consider using it. First thing is to know your budget. You can play any amount you want according to your bankroll, but in this video, we will use $200 just to show you how it works. Let's start with placing a $140 on high numbers 19 to 36. Then place second bet on numbers 13 to 18 for $50, and last bet $10 on green 0, a $140 plus $50 plus $10 equals $200. Now we have a total of $200 bet, but is this betting strategy will work good on us? And how much can we win, and how likely are we going to lose? With this strategy, we are covering a large portion of the table, leaving only 12 out of 37 numbers that we are going to lose money on. That means we have a 32.5% chance that we will lose our $200. On the other hand, we have a 67.5% probability of landing a winning number. Later, I'll explain what to do if we lose $200 according to Mr. Bond's strategy later in the video. Now, if we hit a winning number, how much profit do we actually make from it? This is what makes this strategy more interesting, because the profit that you will make will be depending on winning number will land on. Let's look at the largest bets that has the highest probability of winning $140 on numbers 19 to 36. We have a 48.6% winning probability and payout of $280, including our $200 bet that gives us a $80 profit with less than 50% chance to win less than 50% of our money. I know what you're thinking. It doesn't sound like a good strategy to use. Mr. James Bond is a handsome lucky guy. But let's take a look if the other bets land on their winning numbers. If happens that our $50 bet in the 6 line wins, this will bring us a $300 return. This bet is 16.2% probability of winning and bring us a $100 profit. Our last bet, which is $10 on the number 0 and the least likely to land a winning number for just 2.7% chance. But if win, it will return a total of $360, giving us a profit of $160. The total bet contains 67.5% probability of making money every time we spend. The fascinating part of this betting strategy is there are no same profit in every winning number. Unlike the martingale and Romanovsky betting system that provide the same winnings no matter what winning numbers land. However, in this strategy, your profits can increase, or better still, to single zero. Now, do you remember the backup strategy of Mr. Bond that I mentioned earlier? Even though this strategy has a high win rate of 67.5%, there's still a 32.5% chance of losing the $200. Now, this is where the backup strategy comes in. This backup strategy is fairly simple to implement, but it's a risky one. The James Bond betting strategy simply indicates that whenever your bet loses, you need to implement the martingale system. This simply tells us to double our bets on the next spin. Let me explain why it's a risky one. If ever happens we lose the $200 on the previous bet, then following the martingale system will make us double our next bet, which will be $400. We will now have to place a $280 bet on the high numbers and a $100 on the 6 line and $20 on the single 0. Let's say we win the most likely bet in, and it lands on one of the winning numbers. Our $280 bet would return a $560, giving us a $160 profit. But remember, we are betting $400 because we lose $200 in our previous bet. Even after doing the backup strategy, we still haven't recovered and we are still down $40. What about if we hit a winning 6 line numbers with a $100 bet on it? This returns $600, giving us a profit of $200 on that spin. We did recover our loss, but considering it's only 16.2% probability of winning this bet, that is a pretty low odd just to recover our loss in the previous spin. Finally, if the single zero $20 bet will land, it will return a total of $720. This will bring us a significant profit of $320, which means we already recovered the previous loss with additional $120 profit. But in reality, it's a 1 in a 37 chance to occur because this is a least likely scenario. To wrap it up with this backup strategy implementing martingale system, we only have one number that will bring us back to the profit, 6 numbers that will make us break even, and 30 numbers will make us still down for few dollars. Not to mention the 12 remaining numbers that will make us lose another $400, making our total loss $600. If this losing occurs more often, then we are putting ourselves in even worse situation. Even if we hit a 6 line in the next bet, we're still not able to recover all of the losses. Our 6 line bet of $200 will now return a $1,200, giving us a $400 profit. But we are still down for $600 in the previous 2 spin, meaning we're still losing even if we hit a single zero. For $40 bet, now will only gives us a slightly profit of $1,440 after we bet a total of $1,400. It's a huge risk for just $40 profit. Now you see how this will lead to worse scenario. With that being said, this James Bond betting strategy is not that bad considering you have a 67.5% probability, making it a very attractive strategy to pull up. However, when adding the martingale strategy every time you lose is a potential risk to lose your gameplay. Now, do you still want to try this strategy? Tell us your thoughts in the comments section.